So to celebrate our 50th episode, we're going to start another project.
That you're going to make somebody else finish.
Thinking outside the box. I like it.
I don't think we need a proper intro. I think we do need Ryan, though, to explain what on earth we're all doing here and why we have two strange voices on the podcast.
Well, what we're doing is celebrating our 50th episode. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
This totally isn't just something fun that we wanted to do. So we're taking a break from Retuncti. The future of Retuncti is up in the air, but it will get finished at some point. And we're creating something completely new that we can kind of release out into the world. And that is Battlebots Bingo. Now, this is an idea that I shamelessly stole from a friend of mine. The idea is that we've got 3 teams. Spinnerproof, Robocast, and what I'm going to call Roasting Robots, but we all know it's just Mr. Psycho. The idea is that we're all going to get, or we all currently have, a blank 4x4 bingo card, which we're going to fill with predictions about the 2019 season of Battlebots. The idea is, over the course of the season, we tick them off as they come up. First one to get a line, a column, or a diagonal wins. Basic bingo rules. Classic bingo rules.
The only bingo rules.
Any of our listeners over the age of 60 are very comfortable with what's happening right now. That, of course, could be quite easy. We could easily fill it in with loads of predictions that are going to happen immediately. You know, Tombstone wins a fight. Easy. We're making it a lot more complicated than that. Because we don't do things simply, do we?
As evidenced by Retuncti.
Exactly. There will be no die rolling in all of this.
Oh.
So, all of us, as teams, have submitted a set of 16 predictions. Blind, we haven't seen each other's. They're all now in a big spreadsheet, shuffled, and we're going to take it in turns to take a random prediction for our card. So at the end of this, each team is going to have a set of 16 predictions, some of which they wrote, some of which other people wrote. There's some serious strategy here. You could write a load of easy predictions and hope that you get them. You could write a load of really hard predictions and hope that someone else gets them. That is all the explaining I have in me.
Okay.
Should we? I feel like we should introduce our guests properly. They're sat there really awkwardly, having to listen to me make a mess of this explanation.
Yeah, from Robocast, we have Sam. Say hello.
Hi there. I actually think you did a better explanation than what I could ever hope to have done, so well done.
I'm sure all the confused listeners will decide. Can I just say, on air officially, Robocast absolutely smashed it with the Battlebots preview.
Thank you very much. I mean, it took a lot of time to do. Obviously, it was about 4 hours in the end, and I don't know how on earth we managed to keep sane for that long and keep roughly on track, I think. But I'm glad. It was quite humbling just watching everyone respond to it. It was amazing. So thank you to everyone out there, and thank you to you two for inviting me onto this. I'm really excited to do this. This is gonna be good fun.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. We don't do guests very often, so we've made sure we pick the best of the best.
I don't know about that. I mean, the other guy is the guy you want to speak to about that, surely.
And that other guy is Mike, aka Mr. Psycho. Say hello.
Hello there.
God.
What can we congratulate Mike on? His hair?
Yes, definitely. His hair.
Returning to bowling? To be fair, congratulations on finishing your first Outweight. It was ages ago, but I really enjoyed that build video.
You know, one of the things that bothered me the most about trying to learn how to build an antweight like that is whenever you ask people that know what they're doing, they're all just like, just build an antweight and start small. And they don't tell you how to actually do that. And all the build videos are like, yeah, I just custom CNC milled a 3D printer so that I could print with unobtainium. And it's like, I have a hacksaw and a Dremel. Help me out here. So that was the kind of build video that I wanted to make with that for people that can't just make something out of 3D printing.
Well, look at you with your fancy Dremel.
we borrowed a Dremel for a while.
We basically make our robots using sharp stones.
Oh dear. I share your frustration though with the state of like build tutorials and stuff on YouTube where it's like, here's my wonderful pristine workshop with every tool under the sun. It's like, okay.
I always love reading the comments on those videos as well, where people have clearly watched it all, thought they've understood it, and then they don't know which bit the battery is and which bit the ESC is. It's like, that's not their fault. We do need, I don't know, maybe one of us can be this change in the world.
The idiot's guide to robot building.
Exactly, a complete idiot's guide would be perfect.
Oh, dude, we need to get with Anthony Murney on that, because like if anybody can tell you how to make a robot out of a drink straw and a postage stamp, he could do it.
Honestly, the guy's an absolute machine. Like, I think he is part machine himself, to be fair. Like, I don't know how he does it. He just the work rate is just unbelievable.
How many ants has he built now?
Oh, I mean, me and Mike, sorry, in the same chat as him, and it's got to be upwards of 50, 60 this year alone.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, he's built 40-something for Series 2 of Antweight Anarchy, and then broken irreparably about a dozen of those, and built new ones to replace them.
Who breaks their ant weights? Ant weights are meant to be indestructible. That's how that works.
I mean, yeah.
Right, I think we should get down to some bingoing.
Yeah, do you want to give us the first? Well, who's taking the first one? Who goes first?
We need a way of deciding who goes first.
No one's got a cool dibs.
Age before beauty? I don't know.
I was going to ask, do we have a 4-sided die?
I mean, we have a 6-sided one. That's nicely divisible by 3. So that could be a good start.
We promised there'd be no die rolling, so we can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll take 6 and 4.
What if we spun the die instead of rolled it?
Okay, right then. That's fine. What are the numbers? 6?
So Sam wants 6 and 4. Mike, what do you want?
I'm going to go with 1 and 5, just to be as far apart as possible.
That leaves us with 2 and 3?
I think so, yeah.
Do it.
It's a 3.
So that means that we get to go first.
Okay.
It's a fix. Fix.
Let's say Robocast second, and then Mr. Psycho third. How does that sound?
Fine by me. Everyone happy with that?
Works for me, yeah.
Right then, I am so looking forward to seeing what everyone's come up with in terms of predictions.
God.
I apologize immediately.
Yeah, same.
Oh, God.
I think I've got a bit too harsh.
Oh, it'll be fun. I put in some easy ones because I'm not very good at this kind of thing.
And I put in some hard ones. Okay, we have our first selection. It comes from Sam.
Oh.
Which Sam?
Not you, Sam.
Not me, Sam. Okay. Whenever you say Sam, I'm going to assume you mean the other guy.
Yeah,
now.
we're going to
Okay.
be spinnerproof in this case because
Okay.
we have to work together awkwardly. This is from Sam. It is titled Mellow Neon Yellow. Whiplash and Hypershock fight it out in the 2019 Battlebots season.
Okay.
Very specific. I'd like very specific.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be with all mine as specific as I could, like, so there's no, like, margin for error, there's no, like, I mean, I think there was one where I was very vague, but I think I tried to be as, precise as I could be with everything, rather than say left a lot open for interpretation. So that's why, that's my thought behind it.
A wise move. How likely is it that those two I mean, I think that'd be quite a cool fight.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, it'd be quite the spectacle. The cameras would hate it, but it'd be a great fight.
We are all going to have to wear sunglasses for that fight.
For that reason, I hope it happens.
I'm going to say that one immediately isn't going to happen.
Ooh, controversial. Have we lost immediately?
Because I think that those two robots, based on their performance last season, are going to be in wildly different sort of areas of the producer's thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, they could fight in the bracket.
Oh, true.
Oh, you got a second half prediction there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the sort of nuances of all of this, is that some things could only come up really late on. So they're quite good to get in terms of you will definitely get that ticked off eventually, but you're going to have to wait for it. This one could potentially happen in 2 weeks' time for all we know.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Right then, who did I say was going next?
Sam.
Okay. Come on,
The
laptop.
tension
You can
is
do
building.
it.
The tension is building as Ryan fights his own laptop for this.
This is content, this is. Let's go.
I'm not going to edit this down at all.
Okay. And Sam has got one of Mr. Psycho's ones.
Ooh.
So it's a good varied start so far. And this is a gimme, this is. Toads everywhere. Team Toad stickers make a cameo appearance.
Oh, let's go. That's a big tick there, boys. Let's go.
Just tick that off now. That's done.
Well, there's Sam's free space.
Cheers, Mike. Thanks for that. I really appreciate your kind thoughts at this time. It's great.
Now, in the interest of absolute clarity, where have they got to make the cameo?
The idea was anywhere on screen, but 100% definitely if it's on a robot.
Well, that will be a fun 10 minutes of looking for the first one for everyone.
Okay, will we see it in episode 1? That's the real question. I think that's going to be the true gimme.
Ooh, that's something we should point out, actually, which is that we planned this a while ago. And we thought, oh, it's great. We'll record it the weekend after Battlebots. Battlebots won't have started yet. And what did Discovery go and do? They went and aired the first half of the first episode.
I know. I mean, I get why they did it, but...
It's just so yucky in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us have watched that?
I saw one fight, and that's all I'm going to watch.
I've not seen any of it.
I avoided all of it.
So I'm the only person here that watched it. Fantastic.
It's worth noting that all of my predictions are based on no information. Like today, or when I was doing the predictions, which totally wasn't today, was the first time that I looked at even the lineup of the robots that were in BattleBots. So yeah,
With the exception of your ones, all of these were written before that episode even went live.
yeah.
So nothing in here has sort of been influenced by that. Are we happy to say that anything that happens in that first episode counts towards ticking stuff off?
Yes. I made all my predictions before. I think I even saw the draw for the first episode, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
Perfect. So I've got to sit here, potentially seeing things that can already be ticked off and say nothing. That's just perfect.
Lucky you.
Hey, I had to make all of my predictions knowing 4 full sessions of BattleBots, having seen it in person, so I had to make predictions that I did not actually see.
Oh God, you're the wrong person to have on this show.
The whole series is a lie. Next up, it's for Mike, and this is beautiful because this is one of our predictions.
This is a proper fix.
It was like it was meant to be.
So this comes from Spinnerproof. The title is Sniped. Double Jeopardy scores a KO with its weapon. Now, we're saying that a KO would ideally be an instant one-hit robot doesn't move. But if it's a kind of delayed KO, like, for example, when they got that hit on Mecha Rampage's weapon, if that unbalanced weapon had then killed Mecha Rampage, that is the sort of thing we would count as a KO for the weapon.
Right, so they win a fight via KO through damage caused by their weapon.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So I suppose the only way they'd win any other way is kind of through hazard damage, maybe?
If they win, if their opponent takes a lot of damage from hazards, or Double Jeopardy wins through like a judge's decision or something, that doesn't. I don't think that. I think it's got to be a KO. So judge's decision doesn't count, and KO from arena hazards doesn't count. Even if Double Jeopardy get a hit, if it's the arena hazards that take them out, it doesn't count.
How do you feel about that one?
I'm not confident.
I think of the first wave of picks, I think Mike's probably got the toughest one to get there for sure. For sure.
I kind of wish that I knew that Double Jeopardy was fighting like a big crusher or something, so that they could Gamma 9 whatever opponent they're facing.
Gamma 9, that renowned big crusher.
Yeah, just point blank with the cannon and just hope for the best.
I mean, they should have 4 fights, and they've apparently got the multi-shot set up now, so I think you've got a much better chance than if we'd done this last season.
You got a better chance than I thought you did when I wrote that down.
Double the chances they had last season, so...
I was saying they've got a whole 2 shots this time.
Well, I don't feel confident about our first one there, but it could have been worse.
I mean, we've only got to do it 15 more times, so it can only get better from here.
Yep.
I mean, you say that. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What have we got? So we've got another one for Sam now, yeah?
No, it's for us.
What?
Yeah, Spinny, then Sam, then
Oh,
Mike.
it's for I'm yeah.
Spin
Apologies.
Sam Psycho. It's easy.
No, it's not. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. I leave now.
This is one of our own, and I'm going to stress to point out that Sam wrote it.
Oh, no.
Very on-the-nose title here. Foxtrot fails to work. Apologies to Craig Danby.
Why did we get that one?
Now, Sam, I've got to ask, since you wrote it and it's not my fault, what does failing to work mean here?
That is a good question. So what he's guaranteed 4 fights, isn't it? So like
I wouldn't quite say
Or
guaranteed,
okay.
but the principle is people are still going to be getting 4 fights as far as I'm aware.
Okay. Basically, if what happens last time happens again, where it's just like put in the arena, like if none of its fights are aired, I'm going to count that as it not working because we can't know. And unless we've got strong evidence to suggest that it worked. problem is this is like trying to prove a negative. This is going to be really hard. But yeah, not working as if basically it goes in the arena and just doesn't drive or just doesn't do anything. I guess if it can drive around and like make contact on purpose with another robot, I'll say that it worked.
Thanks for talking us out of any possibility of ticking that off there.
What would you count as not working then?
I was going to ask if breaking down on the first impact qualifies as not working.
I mean, I call that not working, but I'm now biased towards the most liberal interpretation of this possible. So,
we know the design intent of the robot, don't we? Like it's meant to be a lifter, right?
Yep.
So I guess if it never works as designed, is that, are we comfortable with that?
So if it doesn't lift.
it's designed to be a pushy, lifty bot.
If it doesn't do any pushing or lifting, then I would say it's failed to work as designed. And I feel like that's quite a liberal definition of not working. So I'm very comfortable if you guys want to be like, no, that's too liberal.
No, I'd say that's okay.
But that's about as liberal as I'm willing to go with that.
If the machine functions but doesn't function as expected, I suppose it doesn't work. So yeah, I'd be okay with that.
For what it's worth, I see Foxtrot doing well.
Well, I don't. You've said that about every single one of the robots he's built, and it's never come true.
I mean, fourth or fifth time's the charm, right?
I mean, this is the one thing that I really don't want to come true on this bingo card so far, is I would really like to see it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this has got the best chance. I mean, if you look at the other entries that Craig's had in recent Robot Combat series, I mean, they've all been kind of not put together last minute, but like they've been, they're still being worked on when the series is starting. This was built last year, so this has had a lot of shakedown, if you like.
What if it still doesn't work?
Yeah, I'll be so gutted, but maybe his robots are just scared of cameras. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had issues with things like shipping in the past, messing things up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Whereas this time, he's already US based. So I think conditions are perfect now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that one.
Apologies to Craig Danby. It's all been said already.
Apologies to Craig Danby.
Okay, Sam has got one of his own this time.
Ooh.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Rise of the Rookies. 4 rookies will make up the 2019 top 16 bracket.
Yeah, this was a humdinger.
What if there's 5 rookies?
So I based it on at least 4. So
Okay.
So any more than 4 is fair game. Any less than 4, I don't get the point. So if it's 3, then no, I don't get anything.
I think considering how we worked to redefine the term working, we'll let you have that.
That's fine by me, yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask a question then. Is it robot rookies or team rookies?
Ooh.
Robot rookies.
Okay, so it can be a veteran team that's competed before, but with a brand new robot concept then.
Yes. So for example, Foxtrot would count as a rookie. However, Hypershock Mark IV would not, because it's a new iteration.
So Falcon's a rookie,
Falcon
Hydra's a rookie, Cobalt's a rookie.
Cobalt's a rookie. Oh man.
No, it's not. Because it's Cobalt Mark II, so it wouldn't count.
Is it? Did they do another version of that?
Okay, do you know what? We'll go with team. Yeah. We'll go with team. We'll go with team. So teams that haven't competed on Battlebots before. So like the China teams, the Brazil team. Who else? Bots FC would count as a rookie.
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Okay, so it'd be teams specifically.
So 4 rookie teams.
Yes, that haven't competed in the reboot of Battlebots. Correct.
Excellent. We really sort of haggled you down there.
Very ambiguous, I know, but we'll go with that.
So since we're in a mode for making predictions,
Yeah.
if you get those 4, who do you think they'll be?
I think Black Dragon will be one. I think Shatter will be one.
Ooh.
Um.
Bold move, putting a hammer up in the top 16.
Yeah, I'm well because they're very experienced. I think they'll well they're experienced. Obviously outside battle, but I think they'll be all right. I think Railgun Max will be sniffing around that kind of ballpark, and I'm struggling now. That's a problem.
I mean, there's plenty more new teams with compact verts that you could pick.
Yeah.
But I am glad you threw a hammer in there for good measure, though.
Yeah, I think there will be a hammer in the top 16 for sure. At least one, because there's quite a few this season. So
Does the Ragnarok team count? How many of those guys have been on Battlebots before?
Oh, that's tricky because they weren't the same team.
I We'll let the comments decide.
Okay.
I would say it would count because it's a new robot and it's a new team working together. But
Would you call Tim a rookie to his face?
I like Tim. Tim's nice.
He is lovely.
He'd let me have that, I think. I don't know. As I say, I'll let the comments decide if Ragnarok counts. I'll leave that there. I don't know. I think 4's a reasonable prediction. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we've got such a strong field of rookies this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly the international contingent. I think that's a really solid prediction. And I think you've nailed the number there to make that a bit suspenseful.
Yeah.
Like I think 2 would be too easy, or 1 would be too easy. So 4, why not?
Good stuff. Good prediction. Very cool. Where did that come from?
Much cool.
Much cool, very prediction.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh dear.
Right. Time for Mike's second one. It's one of ours. It is entitled Hat Trick.
Oh my.
Very simply, Minotaur versus Blacksmith again.
Yeah, about that. Unless Blacksmith can make the top 16, I don't think I'm getting that space.
It's an interesting one because they've had one really good fight, one okay fight. I can see them wanting to complete the trilogy.
I can see them trying to milk that even more. That's why I put it there.
Oh yeah, again, blame Sam for this.
Sorry.
I mean, it's not unreasonable. I mean, if we look at one thing I noted on was the evolution of that fight itself. I mean, the first fight was a curb stomping. The second one was a lot closer. They might do it again to see just how far back Blacksmith can take Minotaur, but I don't know.
I'd say that's one of the better ones to have. I'd be happy to have that on our card.
Yeah, I do think the producers are going to go for it again. I think they like the rematches.
They did really like rematches, especially Robo Games rematches last season.
Well, how do you feel about that one, Mike, then?
I'm not confident in that, to be honest. I'm maybe a Desperado tournament thing if Minotaur really screws up.
Ooh, that would be a major screw up.
To be clear on that as well, it's got to be like a one-on-one for those two. Like, it can't just be they happen to be in.
Yes, it can't be a rumble.
It can't be a rumble.
Right.
Because it's not this. Because like I guess the intent behind like Hat Trick and stuff is like, you know, it's the producers doing the same three fights, or the same fight 3 times.
Can we just take a moment to imagine a last chance rumble that both of those two end up in?
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're up next. We have got another one from Sam. We'll take Tombstone. Endgame, after calling them out last season, will fight and defeat Tombstone.
Ooh.
Okay, that was a curveball.
Ooh. And defeat.
I was very, very, very specific with that one.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think that was a bit of a doozy. I don't see it being unreasonable. I mean, Endgame's pretty beefy.
New Endgame does look good.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. And I think it's the right design to beat Tombstone. Like, it's got the big wedge and it's got the vert, which obviously showed last season with Bombshell. Why not?
Yeah. The question is, has Ray bothered to remake the chassis this time?
He's made like 2 or 3, hasn't he?
Yeah, I remember seeing a comment somewhere on the internet that it's 1 inch short in every direction, so it's a lot stronger.
Oh, blimey.
I should point out that Sam has been kind on this. And in the little notes section where we clarify any rules around the prediction, he has said that it can be by judge's decision.
Ah, okay.
Because that fight is totally going 3 minutes.
I mean, first hit could knock off the chain, and then the disc could stop working because it's embedded in Endgame chassis or something. I don't know. It might happen.
Good to have these clarifications.
The only scenario I see that going to a decision is if Endgame yeets part of Tombstone through the ceiling and they have to stop the fight for safety reasons.
Oh, you'll like one of my predictions later then. There's something very fun coming up with one of those. Trust me.
Oh man.
I also wonder, not to go off topic too much. I wonder if any of us have gone for the same one.
There's a good chance. I mean, we've mostly gone quite out the box, I think, to kind of avoid that happening. But there are lots of things where we could have gone at least down very similar paths.
Yeah, Ryan and I did dedupe our own predictions between us because we both did like a list of 10 and then picked however many.
Yeah,
16.
we had a few that crossed over
Yeah.
anyway. So, for example, the Double Jeopardy one, we both said.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we've got any dupes between the teams.
And if you do get 2 of the same, then that's either great news for you or terrible news for you.
End up with 2 points or nothing. Yeah, it's great. As long as they're not on the same row, that's fine.
Right, this is another one for Sam then. It is a Mr. Psycho prediction. The British are coming. All British Championship final fight.
Ooh.
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 Yes, getting very specific and very late in the game.
That's a... Damn. That's a...
We have said that it's not necessarily the best thing to get a specific prediction or a late one, so having both together is bad. But Mike's been kind and has offered a bonus point here.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to allow. This seems fine. So you will get a bonus point if it's Nelly versus Foxtrot.
Oh, no.
What counts as a British team? Because if Danby's moved to America...
I did make a ruling on this with one of our predictions.
Okay.
So what I was saying, and we'll all see if we agree with this, is that we just go with whatever the hometown is on the Battlebots website.
Okay.
So, for example, a Foxtrot would then be, I'm afraid, a American robot.
Ooh.
And P1, which I believe was built sort of cross-continentally, would be whatever their hometown is. But we'll still offer up the bonus point. Why not? It will just be the only point you get for it.
Go, Nelly!
Are we happy with that as a definition of British, or would you rather go with nationality of the builders for this one?
No, I'm fairly sure that... 'cause I think I spoke to Chris about it recently at an event, Chris Danby at an event, and it's definitely an American robot. It was built all in America. It's based in America, so it's an American robot. So I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Is it made of aluminium or aluminum?
No, see, the problem is the Danbys are kind of like split between continents now, so it's aluminium.
What was your intent when you this was a Mike prediction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was your intent when you wrote British? What did you have in mind?
What the show would consider to be a team from Britain is what I had in mind, and I know that's kind of vague, but obviously having like one British guy on the Chinese team is not going to mean that team's from Britain.
I don't know. Should we go with the hometown on the card for the robot then?
I think the hometown's probably the most effective way to do that.
It's the least up for debate, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That works for me.
It's nice and concrete. We can't argue with it. Okay, let's see if we can give Mike something horrible out of that then. Oh, he's got one of his own ones.
Ooh.
Oh God, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you are, because this one's going to be a lot of fun to discuss. OMG, it's Razzle.
Oh no.
A crusher doesn't let go of its opponent when it should.
Ooh.
Now, fortunately, Mike has given a bit more definition on this one, so he's saying it requires the refs to warn the team that they'll be disqualified if they don't let go.
That seems unlikely.
I mean, quite often, I'd imagine you get a situation where they can't let go. Mike, how are you feeling about that, seeing as you wrote it?
I was kind of imagining the scenario that the referees are telling them they need to let go, and the robot is not letting go. For whatever reason, whether it's stuck or whether the team is choosing not to let go. It's just not letting go when they're telling the team they need to let go.
So I suppose the one thing we're reliant on there is the edit acknowledging that happened.
Yeah, because that might happen, but they might slyly cut it out and say it never happened.
Just pause the fight, go in with some big mallets, get them separated, and then just carry on.
Get some grease.
How do we deal with like insider knowledge here? Because I wonder if this happens and it's edited out, but we have it on reasonable authority from someone who was there or was in the know that it did happen. How do we reconcile these things?
I think the fairest way to go about that, for not just ourselves but also for the listeners, is to go with what is on the edit of the show.
Okay.
If they edit it out, then it didn't happen.
Interesting.
On that one, I'd be willing to give it to you if like one of the teams involved spoke about it.
I'd say half a point.
Oh, half points.
What kind of game of bingo is this? Bonus points and half points.
Okay, so if it's to complete a line, it gets it, or if it's to complete a row, it gets it. But if it's a diagonal, then no, or whatever. I don't know. So that works, right?
I mean, bear in mind, this is the third one he's got, so it's not on a corner anyway.
That's it. Okay, I don't know.
I'd say, right, let's face it, with how specific a lot of these are looking, I don't think anyone's getting a line anyway. So it's probably going to come down to who's got the most numerically at the end of the series.
Yeah.
So I'd say it doesn't count towards a line or a row, but it does count as a point at the end of the season.
Okay, I think that's a fair compromise.
Yep, I think that's fair.
We've got to remember all of this.
So just to be, well, yeah, we've got to write this down in the edit. But just to be clear, if it doesn't happen, if it's not, so if a robot doesn't let go when it should, and it's not in the edit, but we know from a team or some other authoritative source that it did happen, then you get a point for it numerically, but not a line or a row from it. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at a later date in the season, if it happens again and is shown, you then get the full point for it both ways.
Yes. Okay. What about if it's shown and then unshown?
What if it didn't actually happen, but they edit it to make it look like it did? Which would not be beyond them.
Okay, then you get the row of the column, but you don't get the point.
Trust us to make bingo more complicated.
This is a perfect chance to just say we'll roll a die to see whether it counts.
No. Flip a coin, yeah.
I'm going to have a big question mark over this tile when this season is finished. Just like, we don't know yet.
Oh, poor guy. Right then.
Yeah, what is the deadline for finding out that it did actually happen?
Can you imagine 10 years' time, get a call from Mike, give me that point.
2020 is the deadline.
Chaos. Such beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
Why did we agree to do this?
I mean, I was asking that from the moment you said yes.
Oh, no, it's a great idea. I love it. I love it.
Okay, next one is for us and it's by us.
Oh dear.
Away goals. A non-US champion.
Ooh.
So this is actually the one that I came up with that definition of what country someone's from for, if that makes sense. So same again, by the hometown.
Yeah.
So in this case, when Foxtrot wins it all, we don't get the point.
Oh no.
I think you've got a good chance in this one because you look at the field this year, like a lot of teams are from abroad this year. It's not just the usual America Fest like it has been for, particularly in season 1 and 2, but in the last couple of seasons, obviously more foreign teams have come over and to fight, and I think this year you've got a really good chance of some great, European and obviously rest of the world entries.
Yeah, we got 2 great Brazilian teams. The Chinese teams you imagine are going to be very good. You've got a couple of really strong British entries. It's a crazy field generally. So I'm not feeling too bad about that one.
Yeah, we'll see.
And it only needs one of those robots to do well. We're not reliant on 2 of them making the final.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, there's a lot of, isn't it like double digits numbers of international entries this season? It's like 12 or something. That's a lot of potential champions.
So Petunia for the win.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. Petunia is great.
As long as Petunia can just like hold on to a robot for slightly too long.
That'd be like the perfect point for you, Mike. You get like 3 squares ticked off at once.
I'm just imagining a situation where it happens in the final and they get DQ'd. We lose the point. Mike gets the point.
Wow.
Can it not be Quantum instead so I can get the British final? I don't know.
And then it turns out they're not from Britain all along.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I've written one that I can't pronounce, Sam.
What have you done?
I've made a reference to a thing that I've only ever seen written down.
Shall I try and read it?
You can try, yeah. So this is for Sam.
The title of it is Khajiit has wares.
What?
Oh, Khajiit has wares if you have coin.
Yeah.
So this is a behind-the-scenes segment either showing or talking about a team lending or selling a robot part to another team.
Ooh.
So this is something that we saw in the Resurrection series last time. So I'm expecting them to throw that kind of thing into the main broadcast this time.
Oh, that brings up an interesting question then, because I have that slightly insider knowledge of knowing that Charles Guan was there selling his ESCs. Does he count because he's a former Battlebots team member?
Ooh.
Or does it have to be a currently competing team?
I would have thought a currently competing one.
Damn it! I could have taken that point off already.
I feel like we have to be quite specific about what counts as a team, because otherwise someone that plays netball selling something is also technically going to count.
Yeah, I'm happy to say a current competing BattleBots team has to have sold something to another current competing BattleBots team in Season 4. I'm fine with that.
Listen, I think you're pretty nailed on for that, for what
Yeah.
it's worth.
Yeah, a strong one to have.
I'm tempted to say bonus point if it's Will Bales. But no, it's not ours. Why would I do that?
I didn't actually watch the Resurrection series last time. Was that any good? I should probably do that.
It was probably... most episodes were like really interesting, but there was one episode with the Bale Spear team that was like the best entertainment, like edge of my seat television not involving robots in the arena that I've ever seen.
No way.
It was really good.
It was also just a much better production value than the whole series.
This is when they had the better graphics than the main
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
The graphics in it were first class. They were amazing, and then we had what seemed to be word art for most of the sort of fight cards in the actual series itself. The only thing that confused me with Resurrection is why they didn't put it out alongside the main series. It would have tracked alongside it so well, which I'm guessing is why they're doing it as part of the main show now.
Yeah, these 2-hour broadcasts. Surely they'll have time for it now.
I mean, I could have a conversation about pacing, but none of you have watched it yet. Right, I think it's Mike's one next, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay, so this has come from Sam, and it is entitled Reunited. Monsoon and Ragnarok will be on the same team for a tag team match.
Ooh.
Oh my.
So we already know that they are fighting each other.
Spoiler alert. I didn't know that.
That was revealed months ago, you just don't pay attention.
Doesn't mean that I knew it.
Spoiler alert, they're fighting. Deal with it. It's in the trailer, which you probably haven't watched either. So it's the tag team part that's got me here. Was this you trying to be mean, or do you generally think this will happen?
So, obviously, last season we saw a couple of them on the BattleBots basement segments on YouTube. I think it was Petunia and Predator fought Bale Spear and someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Is that the one that got turned into an advert?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that was another one. I think that was Basilisk and someone else, and Double Jeopardy were in there. I can't remember, but that was turned into an advert. Yeah, the Jurassic World one. So I'm willing to accept if it comes on as a BattleBots basement upload later at a later date. I think that's an acceptable point because it did happen and they did fight together. But obviously, if it's main show, then it's main show anyway. So
we're going to need to set a genuine deadline on that, aren't we?
yeah, 2020.
One of the questions that I have is, or one of the concerns that I have is that the production team, at least last season, did not really seem interested in putting like really impressive top tier bots in the tag team matches. And so I'm wondering, okay, if it's not main competition, would a whiteboard tag team qualify?
If it is recorded and uploaded somewhere, be it on TV or on YouTube, it counts.
Right.
It has to be a filmed fight.
I could see that coming up if they do another UK Rest of the World.
Everyone's favourite tournament format.
I mean, I liked it when Battlebots did it. Then I have to say that now, so...
Oh man, you guys all of us have given me some amazingly specific, weird things here.
You've definitely been drawing the short straws, I think.
Actually, yeah, you've got a really bad card so far.
It's going to be amazing if I'm the one that ends up winning this.
Dude, if you win, it'll be just the highlight of the year.
What I will point out, though, is that so far, only 3 of yours have come out, whereas the rest of us have had sort of 5 or so each come out. So if you've put some really nasty ones in, you could be about to sting everybody.
Yeah, in fact, I've got a few nasty ones to come.
Oh, lovely.
I was going to say, I could also end up with my own nasty ones.
I mean, that's what we're hoping for, obviously. Well, it's us next. And we've got one of yours. Oh, great. No collusion. Captain Shredderator versus Rainbow. About those specific predictions.
I don't know what to make of that.
Well, obviously there was no collusion.
It all depends on how edgy the producers are feeling, I suppose, doesn't it? Or again, if it becomes a last 16 match, which with Captain Shredderator seems very unlikely.
Imagine the scenes if that was a last 16 match. I would love that. Rainbow versus the Captain. That would be the best thing.
You know, we did bring up the US versus the rest of the world thing. This could be a legitimate fight for that.
Ooh, yes. Can we have a bonus point if Rainbow win by taking their Switch out? Because watching the implosion that would follow that... Honestly, I think if that happens, we should just get the win entirely.
Yeah. I'd say half a point. Back with the halves again.
Down from a whole point.
I don't know.
I mean, it's nice to have a really specific one, because if we get that, it's going to feel amazing.
That's going to be great. I reckon. I feel like no bonus points unless we can't ask for a bonus point unless it is offered by the person that wrote it. Then we can't ask.
Fine. Because I was so sure that the Lincoln Switch meme was going to be alive and well by the end of this series.
It'll still be a thing for sure.
We'll all make sure of it. Right, it's another Mike one coming out this time for Sam.
Oh god, Mike, you're killing me here, fella.
That's the idea.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a kind one. Yeti Smash. Yeti enters and wins the Desperado tournament.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a three-pronged attack of not getting ticked off.
That's a cascading set of things that have to go there, blimey.
So I need Yeti to do badly enough to get into the Desperado tournament, but then suddenly discover that, hey, it's Yeti, and win the Desperado tournament.
You also need there to be a Desperado tournament, which I know they've all but confirmed, but it still doesn't meet my bar for confirmation.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure. I think they did post on Facebook that they are going to do it again, but I can't remember exactly if that's, if it does happen or not. Obviously, we don't know yet because the season hasn't aired.
They'll do it again.
I mean, I suppose it is remotely possible that they could have run a Desperado tournament and then choose not to air it.
Yeah, they could do.
Every fight was terrible.
Can you imagine if they film everything happens but they film it? So Yeti is in it, Yeti does win it, and then they don't air it.
and then they upload it in January 2020 onto the YouTube Battlebots page.
Day after the deadline.
Yeah, love that. Thanks, Mike, again. I mean, it's not inconceivable with how good the field is that a robot like Yeti could be in the Desperado tournament, but we'll see.
Something that we're likely to see is a lot of robots that have that pedigree being challenged. So the idea of Yeti having a tough start is quite realistic. It's just whether they would bother entering it.
Yeah, it's the thing, like, a team like Yeti might think, okay, we're at 1 and 2 at the moment, so we could enter the Desperado tournament, but if we get one more win, we're on the bubble then, or something. It's that close, so, damn.
I mean, we did see Lockjaw struggle last season and then have an amazing comeback through the Desperado into the top 16, so...
To the top 4 even, yeah.
Yeah. So a robot like Yeti definitely has the quality that just a couple of bad matchups at the start could trigger that.
And if it does happen, it'll happen kind of mid-season, so that's quite a good time to be getting the point. You won't, but it'll be a nice time to get it.
I mean, I can dream. Again, thanks, Mike, for the lovely, lovely prediction.
Doing my best, man.
Well, it's Mike next, and you've got a little bit of a gimme here, I think.
Finally.
This is one of ours. It's entitled Rumble! A main event which isn't a 1v1. So it could be a tag team, it could be a Rumble. The last chance Rumble, if they do it again, will count for this. So you're almost certain to get it, you'll just get it late.
Yeah, I say that's pretty nailed on.
How does it feel to finally think you might tick something off?
That's another late season thing, though, so... Man, somebody is going to win this by, the 4th episode, and then we're all just going to be like, ugh.
You might get they might do a main event quite early on in the series that's not a one-on-one. It could happen.
Tag team main event.
I'd really like to think they would consider a 3-way for a main event.
Yeah.
And there are lots of sort of sets of robots that would make sense together that would be main event worthy.
I mean, they could do another Vert Rumble kind of a thing as a main event.
Yeah, they could do.
So plenty of possibilities there.
If nothing else, it is your best shot at ticking something off at the moment.
It really is. I mean, like, I'm stuck between a Monsoon Ragnarok tag team and Double Jeopardy getting a KO with the cannon as my 2 best shots otherwise.
I mean, if there is a tag team and that's the main event, and then you are laughing, mate. That's
Yep.
that's 2.
Especially if Double Jeopardy are in it and score a KO. I do think we should sort of leave it open if we do get a really quick line or something that we just keep playing for Full House.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, or most points maybe. I don't know as well.
Yeah. Far more realistic than Full House, looking at some of these predictions we've had so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
If any of you get a full house, I will send you £5 or dollars. There you go. That'll make it interesting.
5 whole pounds. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. That's a serious.
It's a serious sum of money, and it's how unlikely I think it is that anyone's going to get a full house out of this.
I mean, £5 by the time we finish this could be worth nothing.
I was about to say, currently I would prefer £5 over $5, but you are absolutely right at the rate that it's going.
Oh, dear.
Right, steer away from the politics. Away from the politics.
No, lean in.
No collusion. There's no collusion.
Let's get back to normality with a nice, easy edit point.
Okay.
Next up is another one of ours, and it's one of our own predictions.
Ooh.
So this is tracking number. Free shipping to get an out of the arena.
Ooh.
Oh my.
I should point out, Sam wrote this, and Sam isn't... Yeah, he's very economical with his keystrokes. So what it actually says is free shipping Uta. So does that mean free shipping scoring an out of the arena, or does it mean free shipping going out of the arena?
I think both are possibilities.
Yeah.
I think it should just be the first, really.
When I wrote it, in my head it was free shipping, put someone else out of the arena. That's what I had in my mind when I wrote it.
I think we should probably go with that.
I think we should stick with that.
Knowing its first matchup, we should definitely stick with that.
Yeah, that's a lot more interesting than it seems on the surface, because this season free shipping is essentially just Original Sin, which is a massive armored wedge. And if they face a big spinner, they could just run into a spinner hard enough to get them over the wall.
Yep.
Can I just ask, like, just to show you how little I know about any of these robots at the moment, does free shipping still have a way of lifting another robot up?
Yeah, it's some very narrow forks in the middle of its wedge attached to an arm across the back.
Okay.
It's almost like a 4-bar forklift by the looks of things.
Okay. I'm not feeling good about this.
Or is it one of those lift and then extend forklifts?
It is a little bit like that.
So I'm imagining it just like grabbing a robot by its aerial, because apparently it's still 2002, and just dangling it over the edge.
That would be incredible. Like literally, picking it up and then just like extending it over the wall and then dropping it back down. That would be the best thing I've ever seen.
Bonus points if there's some beeping along the way.
Oh please, yeah, like a giant crane. It'd be incredible.
Yeah. How viable would a massive crane be if there was still a super heavyweight category?
Depends if it could get the gearing to lift it up and then not topple over itself. I don't know.
I mean, where's the fun in thinking things through that much?
Yeah, logic's for wimps.
Logic's not for Battlebots, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ask the Daisy Cutter team.
Oh.
Oh, if we have any Daisy Cutter based predictions, I'm going to be so excited for that.
And before one of them is like, Daisy Cutter violates the NDA.
And gets banned. I don't
Daisy Cutter
doing...
mysteriously disappears from the event.
I don't remember doing a Daisy Cutter. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It was a while ago.
I feel like if anyone was going to, it's me, because I just love the meme that is Daisy Cutter. And I didn't go for it, I don't think. Even I self-censored enough.
Well done.
All right, next up it is one for Sam. It is one by Mike, so good luck.
Again, seriously.
Might as well just black out that square now, mate. You're not going to get it.
I mean, I actually have like a 2/3 chance of my things going to one Sam or the other, so...
You do. It's just that they're all coming to me.
It's the way I like it.
Okay, so this is a confusing set of words, but I'll read it as is and we'll dissect it. Pit fire. A robot catches fire outside of the battle box or test box. With a note, does not necessarily have to be in the pits.
Oh my god.
Wait, repeat that.
So it's entitled Pit Fire,
Yeah.
A robot catches fire outside the battle box or test box. Does not necessarily have to be in the pits. So this could mean that a robot anywhere in the world catches fire at any time in the next 6 months.
Let's go.
Cue Sam setting fire to his own robot.
I'm going to sabotage Bingo now. I would never dare do that. It's too beautiful.
So basically what the intention of this is that, you know, a robot catching fire in the test box or in the battle box makes sense because that's where they're being pushed their hardest. But it's also possible for a robot to go up in the pits or on the way to or from the arena or something like that, or like being tested outside, like Bronco throwing a robot into the dumpster or something if it were to catch fire. Basically, just a robot catches fire anywhere that's not inside a contained structure.
Okay, so I'm assuming that therefore means if a robot is currently on fire and is leaving the battle box on fire, that doesn't count because it's the fire started inside the arena.
Yes, it would be where the fire started.
Right.
But what if a new part of it catches fire?
What if it's a multi-bot, right, and one of them catches fire in the pit, and then the fire spreads to the other one outside?
I'll get half a point.
Here's a more genuine question.
How dare you?
What if someone, for example, is charging a battery outside of the robot and that goes up?
Ooh.
Or some other battery mishandling happens? It wouldn't technically be the robot that is on fire.
Not the robot.
But it would be a part of the robot that's on fire.
But it's not the robot that caught fire.
Yeah, I would say if it's not something that's currently part of the robot chassis itself, you know, bolted into the robot or being taken out of the robot, then that would not count.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
I mean, I think that's probably... I mean, bar one of the other ones, I can't remember the first one off the top of my head, but I think that's probably one of my best chances so far, which is kind of sad, really, isn't it?
I can guarantee Mike's now going to get a gimme, isn't he, again?
Of course he is. From me, probably, as well. I'll just give him the gift.
Okay, it's not a bad one. I wouldn't say it's a gimme, but I wouldn't say it's impossible either. This comes from the mind of Sam, and it has the best title so far, which is Elephantastic. Nelly the Ellibot will win a fight in the 2019 Battlebots season.
Ooh.
I
feel like we don't need to sit here and define winning a fight or anything, do we?
Yeah. Again, this can include Battlebots basement fights as well. So if it gets uploaded before December 31st, 2019, I think, yeah, should we settle on New Year's Day as the cut-off point for any of these?
I mean, we don't even know when the season's going to finish airing. They've got, like,
this is true.
18 episodes or whatever and a big mid-season break. This might still be going in 2020.
Should we say 6 months after end of airing?
Yeah, okay.
As a good cut-off.
Yeah, there we go.
6 months. Well, because they spent there was still stuff coming out a long time after the last series of BattleBots.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Before the 2020 season starts, it has to be uploaded.
Oh.
I think that's fair.
So if we never get another season of BattleBots, this game never ends and there's never a winner.
We've all just got to keep podcasting forever.
I don't see a problem with this.
Sam's going to have to keep £5 aside at all times.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay to settle it as just the main season, but I want to give Mike a chance.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 78 of BattleBots Bingo.
Nelly will win a fight. Oh, man. So does that count tag teams?
Tag team. So if it is on the winning team of a tag team, it wins a fight. It gets if they end up with a BattleBots winning Pog, I believe they still do those. I think.
Yep.
If it has one of those by the end of the season, that's
Okay.
You know, I've seen Nelly fight because I was at filming, and I'm still like, this is 50-50 hit or miss. I don't know.
Man.
I have faith in Nelly. I have faith that there are going to be enough unreliable robots there that anyone can win anything.
I mean, if they fight Foxtrot, then guaranteed win.
Oh, God.
In the final.
Yeah, of course, in the final. You know, I probably shouldn't tell you that Nelly actually wins the giant. Oh, sorry, did I say that on camera? Oh, no, sorry.
I have genuine faith in Nelly to win a fight on merit.
I don't know enough about it. We'll see.
I forget that you basically don't know any of the things we're talking about, do you?
More than any, like, the only time I felt more like an imposter on this thing is when we first started podcasting. I feel like I'm back there again of like, I shouldn't be on this podcast. I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, robot building has basically been all of your spare time for the past, 3 months.
Yeah, such fun.
This whole time, I've just kind of been like, has Sam been under a rock this whole time? And then I was like, he's a programmer. Of course he has.
Oh, dear. How did you know I was a programmer? I'd never mentioned it before.
What I love, this probably won't make an edit, but I'll tell you anyway. Sam did almost start an argument in the conversation between all the Battlebots contestants. when he pointed out that someone either did or didn't indent something in some code they'd written.
Look, they had an if statement that had an else clause, and the bit in the if bracket was indented correctly, and then the bit in the else clause was not indented at all. Who does that? What maniac indents half of their code? This branch is indented, and this one is mad. Mad, I tell you.
I'd have them taken outside and shot, personally. It's great that was one of the nerdiest parts of that whole chat.
You're welcome.
Whose turn is it next, anyway?
It's you, boys.
Yeah, I believe it's the Spinny guys.
Let's see what we got.
What do we got?
It's one of our own. In fact, it's one of mine.
Ooh.
Not a robot. A competitor cries on camera.
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I now do.
I think that's quite easy to define, really. There's not much to discuss about that.
I mean, do we have to see real tears? What if they just whimper?
Is it tears of joy or tears of pain?
I mean, hopefully not pain, but we take it.
Or like like.
Are they crying for bad reasons or crying with laughter?
That's what I mean. Yeah, like.
I mean, when I wrote it, I was thinking crying, negative emotion crying.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Because we're going to have a lot more human drama, I think, this season. We're going to have a little slide back to some of that ABC stuff, I'm worried.
Okay.
Hang on, can you repeat the wording again?
A competitor cries on camera.
Okay, so it has to be a competitor.
Why, did you really upset someone in the crowd?
NDA.
I'm torn on how likely it is because I don't have any recollection of seeing people crying in any earlier series of Battlebots, which is not to say it didn't happen. It's just I have no recollection of seeing it. But yeah, if they've got more time to fill, so yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd say it's about a 50-50. To me, it's all about whether they choose to go down that road. I hope they don't. If this doesn't get ticked, that's a sign of a good season.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Sabotage unsuccessful. Let's see what we can give Sam then.
Is it another mic one?
Why, yes, it is.
Oh, good.
Are you serious?
Oh, good.
Now this is quite a nice one, but it could have been worded more nicely. The best laid traps. A robot wins a fight due to arena damage.
Ooh, I think that's fairly likely, because it happened a few times last season, didn't it?
It'd be nice if it was loses a fight due to arena damage, because that would include competitors in rumbles. But I agree, this isn't the worst at all.
I mean, as in, judging by the amount of power that some of the weapons have, causing damage to test boxes and such, I think there's a good chance this might happen. Like, an arena might get damaged to a point where it can't drive or anything. Obviously, Tombstone got stuck on its own chain, but I think the floor was a bit warped anyway, so we'll see. Thank you, Mike. Finally!
I would like to clarify on Ryan's point. A fight is decided by arena damage.
Okay. It's a little more liberal.
Can I just quickly define arena damage? Do you mean a damage done by the arena hazards, or some robot destroys the arena sufficiently so that that decides a fight?
Damage done to the arena, whether that is by a robot or by the arena itself, or Trey Roski's Segway, whatever does it. Or damage to the arena results in a fight being decided.
So, would you count this if arena damage caused a fight to be stopped, and then that, say, went to a judge's decision?
I would count that, yes.
So it doesn't matter who wins in that situation, it's just arena damage stopped the fight, therefore it has caused someone to be the winner of the fight at that point.
Yes.
Nice.
Again, I think that's a very generous way of looking at it. Okay, I say, considering the power of the weapons that there are this season, I think that's fairly likely.
I mean, just seeing the damage that Deep Six did in the test arena gives me a lot of hope for lots of weird stuff happening with the arena.
Yeah, and that's just bringing up the floor. We're not even talking knocking one of the pulverizers out and immobilizing somebody on it or something, or breaking the arena glass.
How would you classify it if it was damage from an old fight that had, say, left a seam exposed that someone got stuck under?
Ooh.
I'm guessing we'd count that.
I do not think we need the damage to be specific to that fight. Just if the arena is damaged and it causes a fight to be decided, then I think that counts.
So something like when Lockjaw got stuck on the kill saws and that led to them taking big damage, that's the kind of thing that we'd be counting.
I was thinking more along the lines of it results in a robot being counted out or the fight being stopped for safety reasons or something like that.
Okay, so a sort of direct causal relationship.
Ends the fight, decides the fight.
Cool.
Sounds good. I think we're all vaguely clear on that.
Yeah. So there is a fight decided by arena damage.
I feel like at some point in the not so distant future, we're going to be coming back and reviewing this segment of podcast to make a ruling.
I hope everyone's been able to keep up out there because I'm struggling.
I am writing everything down that I'm being given just so that I can be like, oh man, I am screwed.
I'm kind of expecting this to be one of the most downloaded episodes of Spinnerproof for people, for me specifically, re-downloading it to listen to what the hell's going on.
I am going to, when we've got the edit done, listen through and make very precise notes on everything that we've said about rules. I'm also going to put some graphics together for the cards that we can all use, and I'll keep those updated.
Excellent. Please send me mine as well, because I'm going to struggle to remember all this.
So, what I like most about what was just said is that Sam said, not people, just me. He's not considered a people.
I don't count.
Are you subhuman or transhuman?
I don't know. How do you count a software developer?
Sub. Definitely sub.
Aw, that's mean.
You're part of the infrastructure.
Look, without me, the world wouldn't work. Me specifically.
Sam the demigod.
What is this demi qualifier here?
Right, I've got another one for Mike here. By us,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
specifically is by Sam.
Oh, good.
Seeing the Light.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is going to take some discussion as well.
Oh, no.
Sawblaze or Scorpios see the error of their ways and put saws back on their robots.
I mean, they have them, right? They have them anyway.
I don't know.
This is the thing. How regularly, how often do they have to use the saw for this to count? Are we just seeing a saw from either of them once?
So I wasn't aware that they had the option of going back to So I wasn't aware that there was that they were designed with going back to the saws in mind. I just sort of saw both of these pictures and assumed, okay, they've built vertical spinners that look roughly like their old excellent robots. If we see either robot use a saw in any fight, then I'll give you the point.
We literally spoke about this before, Sam, and I said they still had the saws.
Look, you may have said it, I may have read it, doesn't necessarily mean that I remember it. In one ear, out the other.
So this is where I call into question your guys' definition of a wedge.
What is a saw?
Yeah, what qualifies as a saw? Because I know Cobalt's disc is very saw teeth, or very much looking like saw teeth.
I think if it's designed for cutting more than hitting, I'll call it a saw.
Okay.
If Sawblaze or Scorpios put their saw blade back on, you're gonna know it's the saw blade.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think they're going to do any of those weird, like a million-toothed vertical disc. I think it's not a million, but you know what I mean, like a bunch of teeth on a disc. It's either going to be like one or two teeth, isn't it? And then or the saw. Like it's not. I don't think they're going to do anything in between.
Right. Okay then. So that's another one that I don't get.
You might do. They might use the saws.
I mean, that seems almost guaranteed.
I mean, now that I know that they actually have the option of it.
I assumed you'd done it intentionally as a gimme.
No.
I was trying to find ways to make it harder, but you're like, no, if they use it once.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Well, I mean, that is my best chance now, other than probably just ahead of Nelly will win a fight.
You've got your Rumble as well.
Man, this is going to be a rough podcast season.
Yeah, I think we're just going to be 10, part of it's going to be watching the fights as normal, part of it's going to be damn, I need some more points for my bingo card. Come on, guys.
I generally might print the thing off.
Please,
Yeah.
And just be ticking it as I go.
Do you know a couple of years, was it season 2, they did the bracket thing. Did they do it last year as well? Where they print off the bracket and you can fill it out. I want one of these on my wall so I can fill it, so I can cross it off every week.
It'll happen.
Please do. Let's make it a thing.
Finally, we found merch that we can sell.
Sell it as t-shirts.
T-shirts, and you get a permanent marker with it. Just try not to go down to the skin as you tick things off.
Oh, dear.
Why have you got ticks on your skin, Sam? I don't know. It's just...
Hey, that's a great idea. I can do that for my live reactions to the episodes. I'll just draw it on my chest and tick it off as we go along.
Dude.
I think you should get this as a tattoo.
Oh, God. That's a bold move.
So what happens if you do it again next season? You have to get it lasered off and start again.
I mean, you got quite a lot of body.
So if you do it as a tattoo, are you thinking like you would do it all on paper first and then get like one tattoo done right at the end of the final thing, or it's like tattoo the board on first and then have to go back every week or whatever to get a new thing crossed? Because that would be expensive.
That would be expensive.
Or buy a tattoo machine and do it yourself. I've seen videos on how to make a prison tattoo gun. How hard can it be?
Oh, let's not go there. Let's just leave that right there.
Do-it-yourself tattooing. If everybody on this podcast comes down with sepsis in a few weeks, then you'll know what happened.
Sepsis and gangrene or something, I don't know.
No, it's great. Instead of ticking it off, that bit of flesh just falls off.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
And on that note, let's get another bingo prediction thing.
What an amazing segue.
This I'll tell you what, this might be genuinely the most out there podcast we've ever done.
Why, thank you. We thought the whole die rolling thing was a bit too weird.
Oh, God.
Okay, back to the land of the sensible. Next one is for us, and it's from Mike, and it's a nice one.
Ooh.
Oh, seriously, all the nice ones Mike's done has not come to me.
Don't breathe this. A lipo fire happens.
Ooh. That's a good title. I like that title as well. I like your titles, Mike. They've all been good.
You know, I'm trying.
So I'm assuming that you meant this in the arena, but can we extend this to everywhere?
If it's included on the show and it involves a lithium polymer battery, then it is a lipo fire and counts.
Perfect.
I like those odds.
I mean, apart from maybe the Saw one, that's probably the biggest gimme of the lot.
I'm kind of annoyed that my Saw thing is far more of a gimme than I thought it was. Oh, typical. That's what happens when you make predictions with no research.
So happens when I just make you do it off the cuff. Okay, this is another one from Mike. It's going to Sam.
You are joking.
Another one from Mike going to Sam. We just had one from Mike to Sam.
Only 50% of it was to Sam. Fight Court reboot. The crowd boos a judge's decision.
Ooh. I want that to happen.
Now.
This did happen, didn't it? But it was edited so that it didn't sound like it happened.
And there is the source of my question.
So, this is going to be another one where we might have to fall back to like insider information.
Will it be from a live viewer of the fight? How you feel about that one, Sam?
Well, I know people can get salty about Battlebots, so that's actually made me feel really good. But I mean, again, so I think the question you're about to ask is, what happens if it's edited out like it was last season?
Mike, I guess you get to make the ruling on this. It's your prediction.
Oh, see, you're making things harder than it should be because I don't know the answer to that. I guess when I made that suggestion or that prediction, it was that it would be included in the edit of the show. Kind of my default state of being is that if it's not included in the final edit, then nobody knows that it happened.
Okay, that's fine by me.
Yes, that would require them to include the crowd booing or suggest that the crowd is not happy with the decision in the show.
Blimey. I think that makes it a lot harder because I think they're quite likely to dub audience applause over that moment.
Yeah. If specifically if Kenny or Chris specifically state that the crowd aren't happy, does that count as a point?
Yeah, I would count that.
Okay.
Cool.
I think this next one's for Mike.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Glad other people are paying attention. It is from Sam, and it's going to cause controversy. Bye Bronco. Bronco fails to make the top 16 bracket at the end of the season.
Ooh.
Oh, man. So that's a legitimate possibility that Bronco might not make the top 16 because we've seen them struggle against spinners, and there's a lot of spinners. It's also possible for them to get a pretty easy draw like they did last season and make it through with relatively minor damage.
I just think this is a really good year to get this prediction. I've been thinking for a long time that Bronco are going to finally get found out this season. I think Hydra's going to come in and be a better flipper. I think they're going to get a tougher draw, which they won't be able to stand up to. I think there are lots and lots of things against Bronco this season.
In fairness, you look at their draw from last year, it's not the easiest. I mean, I think they had Bombshell, but Bombshell was struggling. They had Sawblaze when Sawblaze were having a great season. I can't remember. Oh, they had Duck, and Duck's not really the right robot to fight Bronco. And I can't remember the fourth one for the life of me, but...
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. And Lockjaw at that point had they had transmitter issues or receiver issues. They had some kind of interference. And I do think that it's... All the robots they fought, they were kind of suited to them, if you like. They were beatable for Bronco. Eventually they're going to fight something like, maybe this season, maybe not, who knows, where like they're really put against the sword straight away. We'll see.
Do we know what Bronco's first fight is yet?
I think it's free shipping.
Yeah, there was the picture of them in free shipping.
Okay, yeah, so they're definitely being given an easy card. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, we have no idea. They could be everything from the bottom robots to the top of the top. They could end up fighting Tombstone or Bite Force or something for all we know. So, yeah, that's a good prediction. That's solid, we have no idea type of prediction.
Yeah, I like it.
Can I just congratulate everyone on making it to the halfway mark? We are halfway there.
Yay!
Only another hour and a half left then.
God, I'm having flashbacks to the preview again.
Okay, it's us, and it comes from Sam. A new hero rises. A new team will win the giant nut.
Ooh.
So, for clarification, that means neither Bite Force nor Tombstone. So it would be just a new robot in general wins the giant nut.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
You see, now I feel very good about that.
I'm a bit more confident about that now, yeah. When I first heard that, I was worried that what you meant by new team was a team that hadn't been on Battlebots before.
No. So literally, just neither Tombstone nor Bite Force. So literally, any of the other 67 teams can win it. So it's if you've got the odds are in your favour, but you never know.
I mean, it is hard to bet against Bite Force, just in any situation.
Yeah, Bite Force is a really good robot.
That could go quite well with our non-US champion as well.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Get some synergy going on there.
Weapons synergy.
Weapons.
See, this is something that is going to be really interesting to see play out, is how many of us are going to get, like, 2 or 3 squares in the same fight during this.
Yeah, because that could happen.
Especially with the final, where there are going to be a lot of things in here that are about the final, about the winner.
Yeah, when Nelly and Foxtrot are in the final together, I mean, that's going to be it's going to be astounding. I mean, there's going to be points all over the board.
A lot of ticks being made there.
What happens if we all get bingo at the same time in the same fight?
I thought about this, and I have a suggestion for you. So if because we're going to be rotating this idea around our various podcasts, I reckon we need to sort of do this as kind of like an atomic operation, right? So like it doesn't. We have to sort of treat like updates as in the updates that are on the recording of the podcast, and if 2 people win in the same podcast recording, I wonder if it should be hoster's advantage.
Oh, so if you get recorded faster, you win.
But no, like so if for example we were on your podcast and like we won and you won, because you're the host, we would say that you got the final victory there. If we both completed our bingo boards on the same podcast episode, because you're hosting it, you'd get the win.
I'd offer a different solution.
Okay.
Hopefully a better solution, because that was crap.
If 2 or if all 3 of us reach bingo at the same time, whoever has the most points other than the bingo would win. So say if we had a line, if I had a further 4 squares coloured in, and then Spinnerproof had 3, Mike has 2, I would get the win. And
if that's a tie, host has advantage.
Okay.
Sound fair?
I'll go with that.
If that, yeah, I don't know. I think that would work slightly better, but I don't know.
That's fine. I can tell when I've had a terrible idea.
For the record, it wasn't crap, it was just really confusing.
I can tell when I've had a terrible idea, but only when everyone else tells me it's terrible.
Oh, make sure you read the emails from this podcast, because you are going to find out.
It's okay, we never give out our email address.
You can't help anyone who's ever emailed us by trying to guess it. Never been read, sorry.
Right, let's see what we can give Sam in return.
Is it a Mike one?
Why, yes, it is.
Are you kidding? Has Sam had anything other than what Mike's given him?
I mean, this is good.
What algorithm did you use to randomize this?
My very scientific, make a column with a random number and sort by that column.
High tech. I like it.
If only there were a software developer I could have worked with on this.
If you're out there, please send your ideas to spinnerproof@hotmail.co.uk.
Send it there and watch it bounce.
That's not their just for clarification. That's not their actual email address. I don't think it is anyway. So you're probably going to end up getting that back.
Just message us on
Continue,
Bebo.
MySpace.
This is my favourite prediction so far.
Okay.
Back asswards. Chris says huge hit there or jam up instead of Kenny.
Okay.
So you can now have fun through the whole season intently listening out for those two phrases from the wrong voice. Because it only counts if you notice it.
So, jam up and huge hit there.
Said by Chris instead of Kenny.
I think we're going to have to put the onus on you to listen to that, because I'm not sure I want to comb through all of it.
Oh,
all
God.
of that audio.
I'm going to be literally getting it word for word. I'm going to get transcripts of each episode, trust me. I'm going to be all over that.
Yeah, onus on you and your audience.
If you thought your RoboCast reviews of the episodes were going to be tough to do before.
God. Literally, frame by frame analysis this time. Okay, yeah, lovely. Thanks, Mike, again.
I mean, it's a high probability one, but at the same time, you really got to pay attention to it.
It's okay, we can just weaponise our audiences to do that for us.
Yes, please help us.
Yeah, comb through it for me and have mercy on my soul.
Was that a general cry for help there?
Just help us with everything.
Next up, for Mike from Sam. We've got a lovely back and
good.
forth going
We're
here.
just trading blows constantly.
And another contender for best title here. Lights, Slamra, Action. Part of the lighting rig within the battle box at some point will get hit by a robot or chunk of robot.
Ooh, I like that.
That second part has made it a little kinder. So what was you thinking with that one?
Well, obviously we saw in Robot Wars Series 10, one of the two clusterbots, Crackers and Smash, got roofed by Big Nipper, and I kind of thought, wouldn't that be fun if it happened in Battlebots 2? So, here's hoping.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot as well, but I gotta ask, I gotta pull out the insider information card again. Does that have to be included in the edit of the show?
Yes. I mean, I imagine if a robot gets roofed, they're going to include it in the show, or like, I imagine if something that size hits the lighting rig, some of it's going to fall down, because it did in Robot Wars, and there's no trench to kind of hide it this time.
And there's no way they won't draw attention to it, because it's just too cool not to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Jonathan Pierce, for all his qualities, he misses things, whereas Chris and Kenny are there, and they're reacting to it live, rather than post, so that they'll see it.
Well, see, I remember in the Vert Rumble last season, Endgame roofed the wedge from Brutus, and they didn't address what it did to the lights at all, even though you could clearly see that a light went out.
Ooh.
So it's distinctly possible.
Yeah, if you can analyze it and you can say, look, it happened, then that's fair game. But like, it has to be in the edit of the show where it's on camera.
Okay, has to be included in the edit.
Yep, so if we're seeing things falling from the lighting rig or whatever, that's all good.
Yeah, so if you can spot it and they don't, that's fine, but it has to be visible.
Great, so now I'm going to be analyzing every hit frame by frame.
Excellent, good. So that I've got one from Mike, Mike's got one from me, it's good.
You two just trade blows over there and we'll keep taking fairly easy ones from ourselves. I should point out, just in the interest of explaining randomness, none of ours have come out in the last 6, and that is fine, because that's how randomness works.
Okay.
I can guarantee this one will be ours now. And it's not.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Mike.
Oh, no. What have we got?
What we've got is a theme developing. Meme machines. Nelly the Ellibot versus Rainbow. Would you like to just predict the whole of Rainbow's card for us? Would that work?
I mean, I'm halfway there.
That is a mean prediction, and I want it to happen.
That'd be great.
Could happen at any time.
But we all know it's the final. Stop trying to not spoil things.
Again, congratulations to Nelly for winning the giant nut.
Oh, good. It's not. I just suddenly got really worried that it was like on a corner, but of course it's not. We're halfway through the draw.
We're fine. We're safe.
Next up, for Sam from Sam.
Oh, good. Finally.
The big boys. Huge and Mammoth will fight in the 2019 Battlebots season. I take it you mean fight each other, not just fight in general.
Yeah. Like, they...
Talk about a gimme.
I mean, now it's
That'll be the
yours.
best- That'll be the best gimme. So they have to fight each other. Now, I kind of want to add the caveat, it can include a rumble where they're fighting against each other, but it's up to you guys if you want to include that.
I was just going to say, I think we should say, even if it's part of a rumble, that counts.
Yeah,
Because I could see them doing a big robots rumble.
A big boy rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you guys be okay accepting that as well?
Yes.
So they have to fight against each other then. They can't be tag team.
Yes, correct. So they have to be in a fight where they are fighting against each other.
What if they're a tag team but then turn on each other?
That's okay. I'd say that's fair game.
No.
You would say that.
I can't allow that.
Okay, so it will be specifically either a rumble where they're against each other or a one-on-one where they're against each other.
One-on-one, we're on the same team.
The winner is the audience.
Or a tag team when they're against each other. All the possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's see what we can give to Mike.
Oh no.
Mike gets his own prediction. The king
good.
is dead.
Oh, that's even worse.
I mean, it's not a nice one you're giving yourself. The king is dead. Bite Force fails to make the top 16.
Oh!
Let's pour one out for Mike's row there.
I want there to be a play-in match between Bronco and Bite Force.
Not in the
Oh,
top
man.
16.
I would lose both points on that, I think.
Dude.
So cards on the table. What's more likely, this or the Bronco one?
Yeah, I think definitely Bronco failing to make the top 16 is the most likely one there. But, you guys said, it's like, do we make really hard ones to make it hard on everybody else? And that was a complete backfire on that.
That's brutal, that one, yeah. I think it's more likely that Bronco won't make it than Bite Force.
I think it's more likely for Double Jeopardy to get a KO than that.
Bite Force will get a very tough schedule.
Yeah, but
But
like...
then even then, I feel like they'd put it in anyway just on reputation. They'd find a way.
Yeah, because
Kind of like they did with Witch Doctor. I don't feel Witch Doctor necessarily deserved it, but
Yeah.
it's a big name.
it's still producer-controlled 16, isn't it?
I think it'll be a case of if they go 0-4, even if Bright Force go 0-4, they'll go into the Last Chance Rumble. For sure.
And then play dead and win it. What else would they do?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works, right?
And to preempt the comments, yes, I do know that they've changed the rules, so that can't happen. It's just a funny meme. Just lighten up.
Stop being so serious.
Why so serious?
Expecting the audience to lighten up. How dare you?
Another one for us. It's a Mike one again. We've gone. This is the 10th one in a row without one of ours coming out.
Wow. You guys are screwed.
I mean, we've got some really kind ones to come. Some really kind ones.
All by me, I presume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I made stupid predictions. Oh, well.
So, this is entitled Ducks Do Fly, which I didn't think was controversial. A robot throws duck far into the air.
Far into the air. How do you define...
Now, Mike has made a note here.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Carry on.
I'm going to attempt to read this with the correct inflection. 5 feet off the floor? Is that high enough? Sure, let's go with that.
How do we know if it's 5 feet?
I think we're going to be doing frame by frame with the known length of the robot.
You've got to consider the lens effects and all that kind of stuff.
Should we define an amount of airtime it has to get?
I mean, airtime is really easier to measure, I think.
I think if it happens, we're going to know it's happened.
Yeah. Like a significant distance off the floor, I think is a fair shout. Like, just not so it's like flipped over, but like it's through the air. I think it's probably fair.
Mike, you wrote it. Have you got a way you want to measure it?
I pretty much what Sam said is if it's a significant distance, then we're gonna know it's a significant distance. Something like facing Bronco and getting thrown 10 feet in the air kind of a thing. It's not gonna be like, well, it was sort of 2 wheel diameters off of the floor. Nothing like that.
We'll happily take that liberal definition of high.
I'm going to make sure that I really exaggerate every single one of my reactions every time duck gets flipped, just so I can claim, well, I thought it was high.
Oh, hey, Sam, guess what you've got?
Is it Mike again?
It is Mike again.
That's
Oh, good.
unreal.
Again, contender for best name. Trey on Wheels. Trey Rusky makes an appearance on his Segway again. I didn't actually spot him originally. Did it actually make a broadcast, him kind of whizzing around?
Yeah, it was one of the cold opens last season. They had like everybody lined up in the pits or outside or something, and they were saying something, chanting, "This is Battlebots" or whatever they said. And then Trey came whizzing across the screen on his Segway because they had just bought it for him for his birthday.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye out for.
That's going to keep you focused during the pit segments, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the cold opens. That's going to be another one to keep an eye on. In case they do it again. Oh damn!
You got to watch. You got a lot of things to watch for.
I'm gonna have to. I'm actually literally analyse the entirety of the whole season, aren't I? For this. Thanks again, Mike.
I'll tell you what. I'm super glad that I've not got your card.
My card is disgusting. I mean, I think I've only had 2 that aren't Mike predictions. Thanks, man. Oh God, Mike might as well just give me all of his predictions at this point.
I mean, there's at least 6 of ours to come, by my reckoning.
I think I deserve all 6 of them, to be honest.
We'll see how the RNG treats you.
All right, Mike, let's see what you've got. It's a spinner-proof one.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh
broken
no!
the pattern.
It's this one.
What's this one?
I think you'll know what I mean by this one when I say the title of it.
Okay. Well, say the title of it then. Spit it out.
Yeah, it happens to lots of guys. A whole episode passes without a single fight lasting more than 90 seconds. This is the one I thought you'd veto when I sent them to you.
I clearly didn't read that screenshot closely enough.
Hid it at the bottom just in case.
Damn it.
So, to be very clear, we're measuring the fight time from when the fight officially ends, the count out ends. That's going by the time that is on screen if the clock is up. If not, we'll have to wait for the official fight time to be posted on the Robots competitive record.
Okay.
It's also not including anything that's on the Science Channel, so this is on the Discovery broadcast of the episode.
Okay. I think that's fair because obviously the Science Channel fights tend to be fights that are, not to knock on it, but like a slightly lower quality. So I think that's fair.
They get a bit bashy, don't they?
Yeah, for sure.
I still can't tell if that's a nice one or not.
That's one that I'm actually kind of confident about. I can see that happening. There's a lot of compact vertical spinners in the field that will just knock each other out in an instant.
I think particularly in the bracket, that's going to come into its own.
Yeah, that could, or the Desperado tournament especially, because everybody's going to be hurting in that.
Yeah, like literally, they'll be wanting to get fights done fast rather than put on a show, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm feeling confident about that.
The only thing you're really reliant on is having a very spinner-heavy episode, considering the field we've got, is going to happen.
Yeah.
One thing I wish I'd done is gone through the last season to see if this happened in any given episode.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe the producers will be checking for this as well and making sure it doesn't happen.
When that 91-second main event comes up.
91, that'd be so funny. What's the narrowest margin you could lose this by, do you reckon?
I mean, I don't know what decimal they go down to on the fight clock.
We'll see. Another one to be going through frame by frame, perhaps.
Someone's going to time the edit of the fight and go, oh, that actually is 89 seconds right there. But no, official clock or bust.
Right, that'll be fun for me to look for the clock in every single fight now.
I feel like we've tortured ourselves quite a lot with these. Like, we've put ourselves in a position where we have to literally fully analyse each episode. That's horrible.
I mean, the two of us do.
Yeah, we've got it really easy.
These guys over here just have to look out for fights. God.
We're going to know if we're ticking anything off as soon as a fight card comes out. Okay. Our next one comes from Sam again. It's entitled Spin to Win. The top 4 robots in the 2019 Battlebots season will all be kinetic energy spinners. So this discounts those with spinner versions, so something like Bombshell, which is a Swiss Army bot. Their only weapon must be a spinner.
Okay.
I'm assuming that counts out Sawblaze and Scorpios as well.
It does indeed, yes.
I don't know about that. That'll be...
So last season, that would have counted, I believe. I don't know, would it? Because Lockjaw had... Oh, no, Lockjaw had the other version as well. So yeah, that wouldn't have counted last year.
I mean, they never used it. That's the thing.
I was given to understand that they had another version, but it was never used.
If they don't use another versions of it throughout the year, I suppose that's fair enough. But so specifically Swiss Army bots like Bombshell and Sawblaze in this case doesn't have a full version of a kinetic spinner all the time. I'd say that's Lockjaw, if they just use the spinner version, then fair enough. Then that's just them.
Would you accept Whiplash?
Yes, because its main weapon is the spinner.
Excellent, because I really see them top fouring again this year.
Yeah, me too.
It's an interesting one because I think this is the best field of non-spinners we've had in many respects. You know, we've got some good flippers in the likes of Bronco, Hydra. I think free shipping could make quite a deep run. I don't see Duck doing that well, but it's another really solid non-spinner bot. Quantum there as a crusher. There's lots of opportunities for something that's not a spinner to break the top 4, but I still don't think any of them will.
Yeah, I think with that as well, like, it relies heavily on the spinners not taking that much damage throughout, because it's the top 4, not just like the top 8. If it was top 8, then, you know, you can kind of get away with it, but like top 4 is like a far way into the tournament as well. You'd have already done 6 fights by that point.
I'm looking forward to see how that goes.
Yeah, that'd be good. I like that prediction. It's a good one.
Right then, let's see what we can give you in return, shall we? Ooh.
Hold on a second. I just realized, are you making the Spinnerproof guys hope that nothing except spinners gets to the top 4?
I mean, that wasn't really my intention, but I'm glad that they got it now. That's great.
No. After we've experienced competing, we're building nothing but compact verts now anyway. Competitiveness has got the better of us.
Meta all the way. No more bright pink silly robots.
Oh, but I like bright pink silly robots. That's all I know.
Bright pink serious robots?
Compromise.
Well, Sam, we've got a slightly mean one for you. This is one of ours. It's entitled Ad Break. An unstick or any other fight stoppage is acknowledged rather than just edited around.
Ooh.
So in this case, for a stoppage, we mean something where they stop and then start the fight again, rather than just the fight has to end because of a circumstance.
Okay, so specifically, the fight has to be stopped and then does restart.
Yep, and they have to acknowledge that in the main edit, whether that's as part of the fight or in the interview afterwards or a pits footage.
Yeah, so kind of like how Behemoth and Cherub was in Series 9.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's... Okay, I think that's actually fairly likely, considering, again, back to my theory earlier about the floor getting damaged so often. If it gets to a point where the floor's just... like, it needs... no, putting back down again, I think that's a... I don't know, that's a tough one. Interesting. Okay, I look forward to finding that one out.
Could go quite well with the Crusher getting stuck one as well.
Yeah.
That could get... because obviously they'd have to be unstuck if they're stuck together. Interesting.
So does this... Oh, never mind. I was going to ask if it counted inside knowledge, but we already acknowledged that it doesn't.
No, not for this one. The whole thing with that is there have clearly been a number of situations where they have just edited around stuff like that happening. And I'm kind of hoping with that since they're going a bit more down the technical route with the pits reports, I'd hope that they're therefore a bit happier to sacrifice a little bit of entertainment value to sort of be honest about the way the sport works. That's the dream.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Okay, that's cool. Again, I think I've got a good chance of that one actually, especially as you say with the more technical approach that Discovery seemed to be going with. So cool.
See, this is when you're like really hoping that Mammoth fights Foxtrot.
Oh yes, that'll be amazing.
You've just made the perfect segue.
Oh, has that prediction come up?
Not quite, but Mike has got one of his own predictions entitled "What Does the Fox Say?" Foxtrot makes the top 16.
No way.
The dream is real.
It's entirely possible.
Well, I mean, at least I don't have to pay close attention for this.
I mean, if it makes the top 16, okay, that could be, Last Chance Rumble, Desperado tournament, anything. So yeah, it's a good chance at that.
Or it could just be Foxtrot being a good robot.
I mean, Foxtrot of all the robots could be the one that sits there half broken for the whole Last Chance Rumble and wins.
I'm going to hold firm that that's not happening. Like, Foxtrot not getting, not happening.
That makes me want it to happen all the more.
Well, I am hoping for it anyway.
What I'm hoping is that if I keep doing, because obviously the harder you hold one of these opinions, the more embarrassing it is for you when you're wrong. And because I do actually want them to do well for a change. So what I'm hoping is if I really double down on being like, they're not going to make it, they'll never do it, I'm hoping the universe gives me a big middle finger and puts them in. But now that I've admitted that, it won't happen. So
trying to reverse psychology physics, I like it.
Well, the universe is deterministic, of course. So
It's happened.
What's happened?
We've got a repeat prediction.
Ooh!
And we have got that repeat prediction.
Oh no, bias. I'm calling bias.
This comes from Sam. It's entitled Burn Baby Burn. A lipo fire occurs in the 2019 season.
We've got both of the lipo predictions.
We've got both the lipo fires. And I'm so glad that we didn't add a third one, because we would probably have got it as well.
Oh, man.
That's really annoying.
Unfortunately, they're not on the same line or column.
There's going to be just an episode full of fire, and Spinnerproof is going to get all 4 boxes at once.
They're going to cash in on that one.
Oh, yes.
And also, we haven't specified that it has to happen in the arena, so we could get a third out of it as well.
Yeah. So that is anywhere there is a lipo fire specifically. Like, it can be in the robot, it can be out the robot, anywhere.
Perfect.
It's the kind of odds I like.
If it now doesn't happen,
Why are you making this easier for them, Sam?
Look, we need to give him a chance. Come on.
Sam now gets one of his own, and once again he's now got to pay attention to every second of the show.
Oh no! Why have I done this to myself?
Hide and Psych. YouTuber Mr. Psycho 2 will be visible in the crowd.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Oh man, and I'll be able to confirm this too because I have my whole audience sending me screenshots when it happens.
Excellent. So I could have Mike's audience do the job for me. I didn't even have to do this one. This is going to be done for me.
Nope. If you don't notice it, it doesn't happen.
I'll just check the comments. It'll be fine.
We're gonna know when this happens. We're gonna know.
We will know.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be over Twitter, Discord, Facebook, the lot. It'll be everywhere. I'm 90% sure that someone in Mike's, legions of followers is going to be able to point it out to him at some point. So I'm happy that if it happens, it'll be done fairly quickly and spotted.
Nice.
And it will happen. It will happen.
Can you reveal how...
I can think of at least a couple of fights that it will
Okay.
absolutely happen in.
Interesting.
World's first Battlebots streaker. It's a dangerous life, but a fun one.
Oh, man.
Since Sam picked himself one, it's only fair that Mike also picks one for himself. This is Split Personality. A robot gets split in half again, except for Huge. Huge doesn't count.
Oh, that's a good caveat. I like that.
That's going to take some doing.
Yeah.
Do we define half?
Yeah, because it was just Huge and Vanquish that did it before, right?
Wasn't there... So, a gigabyte, I would say, would have counted for that.
Yeah, losing its shell, I would argue that's split in half.
2 distinct pieces.
Yeah, by weight, I would say.
So the moment Gemini goes in...
Yeah, like for the 4 horsemen, do they all have to be cut in half, or just
I mean,
one
it's
of
a
them?
robot, not an entry, isn't it?
This is true. So any robot then.
I mean, it's your prediction.
Oh, so that even counts like surrender bot. Yeah, I like this.
My question would be, what about something like Red Devil, where one of the tracks continued working, but like most of the robot was still intact? Would that count?
If it's not in half and it's like in thirds, then it does not count.
Okay, so it has to be literally in half.
As close to it in half as possible.
5% variance either way. I think we can be quite lenient on that one,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a big event if it happens. And I'm fine with it as long as the lipo also goes up.
There's a very good possibility that it will in that situation, although last season there were 2 and it didn't go up, so...
As long as it happens outside the arena, that's fine by me. I'll get the point then, lads.
All of us have so many weird, desires for this series.
It goes up on fire just in front of Mike, panning across the crowd. the best moment for me.
Mike is holding a robot that also catches fire.
I've just got like a little ant weight and I just snap it in half in my hands.
You mad guy.
So I said that we'd written one real gimme.
Yeah.
Up next, it's us.
Oh, no. Have we given ourselves the gimme?
Spinnerproof gets Spinnerproof's prediction of a Farouk punny intro.
Oh my
Farouk
god.
forces
Are you
a
serious?
pun into a robot's intro. Now, this one went through some iterations, because I originally wrote Farouk puts an MCU reference into a intro. And then Sam just went with a pun. And I was like, yeah, we should have one that's really easy. Whoever gets that is really lucky, and here we are.
I put in another one that was like a more specific MC. I put in one of my other suggestions for our predictions that you may or may not have kept was that Farouk does a Thanos reference.
Didn't put it in.
No, okay.
It was
Well.
like one of the three.
There we go.
And I went with this one, and I regret nothing.
Farouk punny intro.
We might as well just tick it now.
Yeah, if anything was a gimme.
I know which. It's going to be the very first fight of the very first episode. You get free boxes.
All I'm saying is, first point scorer has to buy the drinks for everyone else when they win. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's a good rule, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, the only question is, does the drink cost more or less than £5?
I think £5 limits. I think is fair, but anything under that is fair game.
I mean, if we're shipping it to you, Mike, it's going to be a lot more than £5.
I'll buy the drink. I'm not buying the plane ticket to give it to you.
And so he's just going to buy me a drink and just leave it on his desk the whole time.
For Mike. You'll never get it.
Now, in classic Spinnerproof style, I feel like we need to define a pun.
Oh, God.
We can't have this being this easy.
Buckle up, guys. We're going to be here a while.
I think Sam and Mike should get to decide what counts as a pun here.
Okay.
Deliver your definitions.
So I was about to define a pun as anything that makes Anderson cringe.
I'm game with that.
Because he is the pun king.
Yes, and like if it takes a lot to make him like cringe, so I'm down for that. That works for me.
So we're bringing a fourth entity into this as the arbitrator for one rule.
Hey, no. I'm Team Robocast. Anderson's fully part of that. That counts.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting really confused. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll take that.
Are you going to? You're not allowed to instruct him to not cringe at anything, though.
He has to be stone faced for the whole season. Not allowed to smile.
No fun allowed.
Well, let's see what we can give you, Sam.
Is it a mic one, please? I want another mic one.
It's a Spinnerproof one.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
It might be really easy.
I renamed this one for you, Sam, because your name was so bad.
Classic.
I've called it Heavy Shelling. Bombshell drops a classic bombshell cheesy win again. I made an attempt at defining this. So Bombshell win a fight that they're clearly losing by any means necessary. So a sudden breakdown for the opponent, an awful judge's decision, hung up on arena damage, anything like that.
Yeah.
So, basically, a fight where they're not in control of the fight, but they still end up winning.
Yeah, any fight they don't really deserve to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the community will decide that one, I feel.
We'll let the comments decide. No one wants that.
I mean, if we let Reddit decide, then every win for every robot counts.
It's okay. That's fair enough. So, if by consensus of the community they didn't deserve to win, then I get but they do win. I get the point.
Yep. And if it's kind of referenced on the show that they didn't really deserve it, I'd say that automatically, whatever the community says, that gives you it.
Yeah, sure thing. So, okay, that's fine by me.
That seems fair.
So in that case, cheesy bombshell wins do not include really clever chopping off of wheels then.
They were always in control of that fight.
Yeah, they were. They had that fight won anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. It wouldn't include that.
I'd say as much as they were. So the fight with Tombstone, I'd say that wasn't a cheesy win because at no point was Tombstone really on top.
I'd say that largely came from Tombstone's cumulative damage.
Yeah, but I'd still say that the Bombshell were in control of the fight at all times. I don't think Tombstone were on top at any point.
To be fair, the controversy with that was the fact that they were there at all, not the win itself.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So yeah, I'd say that's not a cheesy win.
Okay, cool. So any fight that they're not in control of and end up winning somehow.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Cool. If we can say they bombshelled it as a verb, then it's definitely less.
He, she, it bombshells.
Okay, Mike, you've got another one from Sam.
Oh my, the revenge is true.
He's titled it Little and Large. In a recreation of the fight at Orlando Maker Fair, Mammoth will fight Foxtrot.
Oh my. There's going to be a lot of boxes ticked off if that happens.
So Sam, to be clear, when you wrote that, were you thinking 1v1, or could this be any fight where they're against each other?
Specifically 1v1, because it was a 1v1 fight at Orlando Maker Fair.
Okay, that makes it a little more fun.
Good luck.
Oh man. It's distinctly possible if they both have a bad run this season that they end up in a rumble together and not one-on-one. That would be the ultimate insult.
Not if one of them gets broken in half.
Ah, well, this is it. I mean, if it's the final, I mean...
If Mammoth gets broken into thirds.
In the final by Foxtrot, that'd be the best. Like, that'd be 9 boxes ticked off for you, Mikey, be sorted. And a fire as well, that'd be the best thing.
Well, we take the fire.
Yeah, lots of boxes everywhere.
Yep.
This is just going to be a wild season, man. Just the bingo season alone is going to be amazing. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth.
Oh, man.
The bingo season. Oh, lovely. We've got another of our own again.
Oh, man.
This one's called Stop It. A competitor tries to tap out.
Ooh.
Now, you feel like it shouldn't happen.
There's no tapping out in Battlebots.
They won't have learned.
But they might still try.
I suppose force of habit from fighting lighter weight classes might kind of take over with someone.
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm not confident on that.
No, neither am I.
I'd much rather have given that someone else. This is my favourite of all of ours. It's for Sam, it's from Spinnerproof. Not a wedge. Duck's front end is referred to as a wedge.
Oh, God, this is the most Spinnerproof thing ever.
Wait, so what does it have to be?
So Duck's front end is referred to as a wedge.
Ooh.
So anyone at any point on the show calls what Duck has a wedge.
So that can be commentators, other teams, announcers, anything.
Anything short of a sort of audience member shouting it.
I feel confident about that because I reckon other teams will call it a wedge. Okay, I'm happy with that.
I mean, it was as close to not a wedge as possible, and they called it a wedge last season, so...
Exactly. I'm so happy. Do you know what? I feel confident about that. I think at some point Chris O'Kennewick's going to call it a wedge.
The only thing that makes me think it might not happen is the fact that it's now on a very active weapon.
Yeah.
If they called it something like a lifting wedge, we'd give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, lifting wedge is still a wedge.
If the word wedge is used in reference to what they have, you've got that.
Nice. Okay. As I say, I feel quite confident about that one. I think that's not a gimme, but there's a strong possibility.
You know what I just realized you guys did? You're making Sam listen very closely to the audio again.
You're welcome.
Every time, literally. So I've got to keep it out for Mike. Ugh, I'm gonna have to make a list of things to look out for. Ugh.
If RoboCast comes out like every 3.5 weeks, you know why.
Because I'm still there, feverishly going through each, pixel of footage.
delaying everyone else's production.
We call that the Spinnerproof schedule.
Oh no!
This is all a cunning ploy, you see, so that no one else can make podcasts, which means we get all of the audience.
Oh no!
Right then, Mike, for your penultimate one, you've got probably the worst yet out of Sam.
Oh.
It's titled Waiachi Rumble. Falcon, Hydra, and Son of Waiachi will fight in a rumble.
Specifically together, they must fight each other.
Yeah, specifically the three together. That's cruel.
That is, that'd be a fun fight, I think, but I don't think it's good. I don't think it's going to happen.
That would be as close to a main event rumble as I could think of.
Oh yeah, and you're looking out for a main event rumble as well, aren't you? Yeah, so you get a 2 for 1 maybe.
Yeah, you might have just given me 2 there, Sam.
I mean, it's a possibility. It's a risky one, but at the same time, I think that the team themselves might say, "Well, hang on, let's not do this because it's all 3 of our robots." But again, it could happen. It might not. We'll see.
It's definitely possible if if all 3 of them failed the top 16.
Yeah, I was wondering if they might do a play-in between them. Because they're all basically the same team.
Ooh.
What if they went, okay, only one of you can go through? Which is how I personally think it should be.
I can see that. Okay, so it might not be as completely impossible as I first thought.
Still don't think you'll get it, but if you do, it'll be a really cool fight.
Yeah, it'd be a great point to have, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, there's no losing for me there. If I get it, I'll get a point and a really cool fight.
I mean, there is a lot of losing, which is that you don't get a point or a really cool fight.
This is true.
Okay, last pick each. We can get through this.
Ooh, final round.
Our final pick comes from Sam. It's entitled 4-0. No team will be able to go 4-0 on BattleBots Fight Night.
Ooh.
What if someone gets given 5 fights?
Well, again, if they get 5 fights and they win the first 4 and they haven't lost, then that counts.
So they have to be 4 and 0 specifically at some point
4 and 0 specifically at some point, correct?
before the top 16.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they have to not be.
Yeah.
Again, if there's any season to get that, it's this one. Because, if you got it in the 2015 season, everyone would be super confused.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, obviously, I think, was it 4 teams last year that did it?
Uh,
No, or was it 3? It was 3 in the end, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Bronco, Bite Force, and Tombstone. So yeah, three did it last time. So with the field is much closer this time. So again, I think it's going to be a lot more unlikely. But again, we know how good Tombstone is. We know how good Bite Force is. There's a lot of teams in there that could easily do it if the conditions are right. So we'll see.
I almost don't know if I want that to happen. I'd love to see a few of the really big teams absolutely smash their way through.
Yeah.
But hey, points are important. Sam, you have got the last of ours, entitled Geminouch, which is Gemini-friendly fire.
Oh no.
So if at any point the 2 Gemini robots hit each other, presumably with the weapons?
I'd say with the weapons. It's not friendly fire if it's wedge on wedge.
I think they did last season, didn't they? So they hit each other last season.
Oh, multiple times.
Yeah, they constantly hit each other.
So there doesn't have to be a KO blow. Just they hit a spinning disc of one Gemini hits the other.
Yep.
Again, I feel fairly confident about that one. I think that's, given their history, no disrespect to the Gemini team at all, but given their history, I think that's a pretty good chance of that happening, unless their driving's improved immaculately.
I mean, they have got a new team member, which is Ben from Team Panic. He's a very good driver, so I don't know if he's maybe taking control of one of them. We can hope. We can hope that you don't get that point. And now we go to the final one. It's for Mike. It's from Sam.
This is it. I have the honor of the final square.
All Brazil affair. Black Dragon and Minotaur fight in the 2019 season.
Again, specifically each other.
Yeah.
not like, they just fight. Yeah, of course they do. Well done, mate.
What a prediction. Bold prediction there.
I know. It's a bit out there. So yeah, they have to fight each other again, 1-on-1, not in a rumble.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good one. I like that as well.
That's one of your nicest ones to end on, really.
Yeah, considering how tough some of these that I've gotten are, and how much attention we have to pay to some of these, if these 2 robots fight, that's not bad.
We have our cards.
Yeah. How are you all feeling about our chances of winning here?
Terrible. Absolutely awful.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling stressed out about the amount of analysis I'm going to have to do for each episode already, and then this happens, and now I've got to pay even more attention. Ugh.
What have you stumbled into?
See, I'm wondering in what order the boxes get filled in. What order does 1, 2, 3, and 4 go in? Because, if I could just arrange 1, 2, 3, and 4 wherever, I'm going to line up all the easy ones.
They're going to go 1 to 16 from top left to bottom right in kind of normal reading and writing order.
So as they were drew out.
Yeah, as they were drawn.
That's no fun.
Okay.
Ryan will send everyone a copy of your bingo card, the canonical bingo card for you.
Again, it's going on my wall. I'm looking forward to hanging it on my wall somewhere.
I'll send you a super high res version that you can get poster printed.
Oh, good. I'm gonna frame that when I win it.
Right, just to clarify, when Ryan says super high res, he is not messing around. He sent me a 250 megabyte image once.
Oh man.
I want half a gig. Come on now. I want a serious image here.
He wants to put it on the side of a skyscraper.
I mean, I work purely in vector graphics. I can make it as big as I want.
Oh God help us all.
I think we should finish on some bold predictions of precisely how many we're going to tick off.
Oh, yeah.
I have the advantage of being able to look at them, so I'm not going to look at them and just pluck a number out of the air.
I would say that we will fill in 9. That's my prediction.
I'd be happy with 6.
Okay. What do you reckon, Mike? How many will you tick off?
I am uncertain, and in the name of uncertainty, I'm going to say 6 to 8.
That's not a number, that's a range of numbers. So basically you're saying 7, aren't you?
Yeah, an average of 7.
And finally, Sam?
I'm gonna play low ball. I'll be disappointed if I get less than 3. How about that? I say this on the basis that I think I've got probably the hardest group. Would that be fair to say?
Probably, yeah, 'cause you got a lot of Mike's ones, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So if I get 3 or more, I'll be happy. But yeah, I'm not feeling confident about my chances. I'll be honest.
So on that note, then, how many lines between all of us do we think we're going to complete as a whole?
None. This is coming down to pure number at the end.
I think it's a very good possibility that there's either none or only one.
I think it's going to come down to numbers at the end. I think it's going to be also 0.
Farouk doesn't make a single pun.
Imagine the uproar if Farouk didn't make a pun.
That'd be astonishing.
No fires take place, or they're all edited out.
Yeah, all the matches are just pushing matches. They all go to 3 minutes. It's the worst season ever.
That would be astonishing.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been absolutely excellent fun, and I'm looking forward to all the updates we're going to do through the season.
Yeah, thanks guys so much. It's been great.
Thanks for having me. This is going to be so much more fun and aggravating than it was already going to be.
I would like to echo Mike's sentiments. And God damn you both.
There's no backing out now.
You're welcome.
There is no tapping out in Battlebots Bingo.
You can find the show notes for this episode at spinnerproof.com/episode/50. And there you can find links to all of our bingo cards and sort of like the rules and stuff. I'm sure there might be a bit of clarification around certain things as well, possibly. Ryan is nodding vigorously. You can also find a link to our Twitter at Spinnerproof, where you can tweet to us your ideal bingo card. Bye!